Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim speaking on Friday, the 30th of September. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first, and probably no surprise that the euro remained pretty much within range once again yesterday, and it's just continuing to be in this consolidated position. I mean, you can see it on the 4 hour, it's just showing exactly more of the same. The range is as tight. There's not a lot happening. In fact, the only thing that really sort of swung things was later in the afternoon. Then the risk started coming on again, and it sold off almost straight away. So just when it started looking good, it looked bad again, and that was the story of yesterday. For much of the time, though, barely any decent movement. Now, this may continue for a little while longer. There's no news out today of any significance that will likely give much of a kicker. German retail sales already out. I'm just checking there's anything else that's out there. There's nothing to really give much of a kicker, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of the same. So, I won't be trading the euro today again. The pound dollar. Well, at least it has some volatility. That's all I can say. It did pitch up really early yesterday, breaking the previous day's highs, but then sold off. Most of the day had a late rally, which was then sold off as the risk came back on. So I say late rally, it wasn't that late. It's about 10 o'clock, and it was looking like it was going to push up. But it seems almost clear now. Let's put this trend line on here. There seems to be a lot of selling coming in at 30.30. Yep, it pipped through the Asian session when no one was around. Sneaky little pip up there, but in the main, it seems to have a bit of a ceiling on there at the moment. The only good thing is if it gets back up towards that sort of picture, well, we could be looking for it to break next time. So there will probably start building of orders. Mostly yesterday, the orders were just sell orders, which is unusual. Generally, when you get these highs in, you'll get a pile of buy orders net buy orders sitting behind, purely on the basis of traders are shorting, expecting it to go down. They'll put the stops above the highs. In this particular case, we've got sell stops above the highs, so that's how it's sitting at the moment, or was. I'll have another look in a moment. Anyway, looking as we run through the current pattern here, and well, it's tested the 60.21. It got a little bit oversold late yesterday afternoon. It's taken all that time to get back to 21. Pivot is above it, so there is a chance that we could break or carry on pushing up here. One thing that will probably hit the markets a little bit today is Deutsche Bank are getting a bit of a kick in at the moment with concerns, and it may be the thing that certainly will hit possibly the FTSE, as it's and the financial side of most of the equity market. So the money tends to come out, but for now we may be pushing. I'm just looking at how many points up there. Let's have a look. It's about 23 pips if we do. I mean, I'm looking at the entry levels. Well, the entry where we can get above the 21s may be as a better sign of actually doing something, because by that time we'll have confirmed a higher low. So it still gives about 20 pips back to the pivot, and then it gets into that problem area. Right, okay, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar ran back into the trend line. Mentioned this yesterday morning. It's sold off and pretty much sold off slowly through the day. Had a little bounce late, but 7 o'clock in the evening there, but just couldn't hold on to anything. First test of 200. At the moment, it's looking weak. It's just seeing low highs coming through on the hourly basis. It's looking very weak, and he's pulling away from its daily pivot at the moment and looking like it's heading south to the S1. If it can bottom out somewhere here and start reversing, well, I think it's a big if, because the bigger picture still looks, well, it's just looking like it's wanting to turn with these couple of days down, but it's only 2 days down in what was a reasonable rally. Maybe it'll find some support off of something like the daily 21, but if you can get anything like that, well, we may see another bounce coming through again. But for now, it's as I say, it's looking certainly on the weaker side, and even though the daily pivot's above us, I'm not too keen on that being hit yet. Okay, Canadian dollar. You know what I'm going to do is a quick flick into oil and see what oil's been up to. Well, oil did get the boost yesterday evening, and it flew through there, but it wasn't really reflected in what happened to the Canadian dollar, because the Canadian dollar also run up yesterday. So that higher price of oil isn't really yet into the Canadian dollar. It may play a bit of catch up at some point and start selling off again. But just the pure risk basis, CAD's heading south at the moment. From these dailies bouncing off the daily 50 there, and the whole pile of other MAs that are sort of sitting there below. It's at the moment looking bullish, as much as I'd like to see it the other way. For me to get back bearish again, the line in the sand is the 21 moving average for me for this, and at the moment I'm only looking really bullish towards maybe the R1. Has got daily pivot below us, and any reversals may see that quickly hit. But at the moment, it's as I say, looking relatively bullish. It may mean I just keep out of it whilst it fights with what I'm seeing with oil. Okay, oil slipped off at the moment and coming back a bit here, so it makes sense it's running up. But the fact that we've moved from $44 a barrel to $48 a barrel, near enough, or say 45 to 48, $3 difference there, and we've seen no significant gain on the Canadian dollar, which is so correlated with it, just makes me concerned that we may see a bigger correction back in the Canadian dollar at some point. And maybe I'll just wait until it gets very extremed, very overbought, and then start selling into it a little bit then, because I'm still of a mind with oil pushing up as expected. And as I said in the first part of the week, early part of the week, I think we'll see the Canadian dollar roll over. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. News-wise today, we've got very little on. Got the current account figure coming out at 9:30, which doesn't give a lot of movement for the pound. Side that, we've got Canadian GDP figure coming out as a monthly figure. If I was to cough, I'd probably move the markets more. And that's it, really. So have a great day, and I'll speak to you on Monday morning. Bye for now.